What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live. Hey, it is the morning after show, and I think all Lions fans probably had a hard time going to sleep last night. Probably laid around in their beds thinking about Jake Bates from long range hitting kicks and saying, hey, you know what? How about if I just make it as tantalizing as possible? Let me put it as close to that upright without hitting that upright as can, just so you make the anxiety level for Lions fans. And to be fair, Houston Texans fans jump on up. But hey, now that it's over, we are 8-1, and nobody else probably figured out that the Lions would be 8-1. Going into the road, doing what you're going to do. Yes, Jared Goff didn't have a great game, but you know what? He came through in the fourth quarter, completing 4 out of 6 passes with a touchdown and setting up the game-winning field goal. Yes, we can say the Detroit Lions defense saved the day, going out there and recording 0 points given up in the second half. They didn't play maybe their best ball in the first half, but as Dan Campbell said in the presser after the game, they were just a play here, a play there away from happening. You can also say the Lions pass rush, which was fairly non-existent in the first half, came through big in the second half. And yes, I'm going to give out a shameless plug to James Houston. I thought he played pretty well, even more so when I watched a little bit of the replay of the second half this morning. I think you're starting to see James Houston get healthy, maybe for the first time in over a year. And while I don't think he's going to be a starter for this team, I do think perhaps he's going to add to that pass rush. All right, so we're going to get into the show, get it going, and we're going to dive into last night. We're going to talk about, hey, what it all means for the upcoming season. Lions are going to have a fairly favorable schedule the next few games. Maybe they can turn that 8 into a 10 or an 11-1 season before we see any real resistance. All right, before we do that, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that push for 11,000 subs, and we're 140 subscribers away from that. So if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Also, it's free of charge. If you can reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. We try to get every video between, we'll say 300 to 400 thumbs up or likes. As you guys know, if you watched YouTube for any length of time, it helps every channel out exponentially. And then the last but never least, if you are considering for the upcoming holiday season, maybe something to look to read or maybe just a gift to give, consider going to Amazon.com and ordering Kajora book. If you like historical facts based around fictional characters, go ahead and check this out. It is based on Native American and Japanese cultures. It is about 1,000 years before Columbus sailed the ocean blue, by the way, in 1492. So go ahead and check it out. The next book in the 9-part series releases next year. So get ahead of the curve. Check out the book, see what you think. If you like it, go ahead and leave a kind review. All right, with all that out of the way, let's get to our first segment of the show, and that's going to be, as you know, 5 headlines now. If I can find the button. Buttons. I got to imagine there's a whole lot of Lions fans that, are a little dragging this morning. Might need a Mountain Dew, maybe 2, to get going. So hopefully you all can rise and shine a little bit with this one and enjoy the show. All right, Amon-Ra St. Brown sets stunning new record amid Sunday Night Football versus Texans. Clutch points, story by Michael Whitaker. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, him and Jared Goff keep setting records. And yes, Goff set another NFL record last night. I don't know if it's quite exactly what Goff was going for, but it is what it is. Wideout Amon-Ra St. Brown has officially set a new Lions franchise record by hauling in a touchdown pass for the 7th straight game, meaning he's done so every week following week 3. Despite trailing for most of the game, the Lions shocked the Texans with a 52-yard field goal from Jake Bates as time expired. The win improves the Lions' record to 8-1 on the season through 9 games. And yes, one could argue they could have won that the one they lost against Tampa Bay. But you know what? Ancient history at this point. Maybe they learned from that loss. And yes, kudos to Amon-Ra St. Brown on another big record for him. And just having a good game, good season. Former Razorback hits game winner, third longest kick in Lions history. Sports Illustrated story by Daniel Shee. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, but I could be way wrong with that. As you guys know, I don't always get the best pronunciations with stuff. But hey, Jake the Hitman Bates did just that. He was putting the Texans to sleep with his big kick at the horn at the expiring. And yes, just razor thin margin between that and the upright. But, you know, it doesn't matter. It still counts all the same. Lions been on the wrong side of those situations a bajillion times. Not a gajillion, a bajillion times. Throughout their long history, but now they're making other teams cry versus doing the crying. Bates, don't forget, he was cut by the Houston Texans just over a year ago when he was in their training camp. They said, we're good. We're going to go with this other guy. The other guy missed the big kick from 58 yards, and that thing wasn't even close, setting up the dramatic finish for Jake the Hitman Bates to come through and get revenge against his, I guess you could say, former team. Quote, most improbable outcome, the 54-year Lions first first after stunning comeback win. All right, we'll go with that. I don't write it, I just report it. From the NFL Wrap, and yes, we get it. It's been a long time since Lions been 8-1. It's been a real long time. It's been a long time since somebody throws 5 picks in a game and still wins the game. Whatever you want to say, whatever happened last night, we can say this. Detroit Lions defense is pretty legit. Yes, the Lions offense, they struggled a little bit from the offensive line to just bad tips that ended up being picks to some miscommunications here and there. Whatever it was, Houston's defense came to play. They caused some problems, and the Lions, over time, eventually figured out in-game how to adjust and get things handled. What we can also say is the Detroit Lions defense, you couldn't ask for much more from. After being down 23-7 at the half, it felt like, the wind was out of the sails, and maybe everybody by the end of the third quarter would be thinking about what to get for the post-game show meal. But then the Lions said, not so fast. Dan Campbell addressed this when he came out of the locker room, talked to reporters for NBC, and said, hey, we just got to get a turnover. We just got to get opportunities for ourselves. And, just 3 seconds into the second half, on the first pass of the half, the Lions picked it off. Carlton Davis, he didn't just grab 1 pick. He grabbed 2 picks. And, what a comeback from the Detroit Lions. Inside the locker room, Lions giving defense all the love after win in Houston. MLive.com, Ben Raven on this one. And as I was just saying, that defense, you have to look at it as one of the best in the league. And they're going to get a little bit better, I would assume, was that Darius Smith rolls onto the field. I'm guessing he'll play next weekend. We'll have to wait and find out. But you put him out there along with whoever they're going to put on the other side. And yes, maybe the reemergence of James Houston to a degree. Lions' pass rush might end up being something. It may not be what it was with Aiden Hutchinson, but it doesn't mean it's not going to have its own strengths and ability to get after the quarterback. On top of all that, the Lions secondary, if they're not the best in the NFL, they might be number 2 or 3. They're pretty good no matter how you Scooby-Doo it and cut into it. And the linebacker core continues to evolve, continues to get better. You're starting to see more and more guys. Neiman, I didn't think we would see him in a game that much, but he played a lot last night in limited roles, but had big plays out there. Obviously, Trevor Nowatzki keeps developing among other players. A lot of unsung heroes on that Lions defense, and they've come through time and time again, making play after play after play for this team. All right, let's see. Last of the 5 headlines down. This will be a big one to watch this week. Sam Laporta injury update. Latest news on Lions tight end status for Week 11. Sporting News story by Mike Moratis. So MCDC did address it after the game. Said basically there was a sprained joint in Laporta's shoulder. He tried to come back in, just didn't work. So my guess is, I think if you look at last year with Laporta in the knee, he healed back pretty quick. Of course, that was for a playoff game. I'm guessing the Lions give him Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, kind of light workout on Thursday, see where he's at Friday. Maybe he plays. If they don't play him this upcoming weekend, that's probably going to be okay. We'll wait and see, though. All right, with all that said and done with the 5 headlines now, Lyle, let's go over to a different segment for the show before we get to the grades, and let's give you guys the studs and duds from yesterday's game. All right, well, how about this one? I don't always get the right button when I try, but hey, sometimes I just do it. All right. Anyways, well, hey, big kick seals a comeback win for the Lions, but now we need to analyze some people. Carlton Davis, hey, I'm going to go ahead and list him as a stud because let's be fair. If he doesn't do what he does twice in the second half, getting interceptions, we don't win that game. If the Lions defense just doesn't play nearly flawlessly in the second half, we don't win that game. But with the Lions secondary, sometimes the cornerbacks getting overlooked by the great, outstanding play of Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. You know what? Carlton Davis said, don't forget about me. He is somebody who's won a Super Bowl. He's played at all-pro level before in his career, and he played like an all-pro player last night, not just in the run game defense, but obviously with generating 2 turnovers and helping the Lions find a way to just stay relevant in that game long enough for the offense to figure out enough stuff to get them to win. Dud, though, as much as Carlton Davis might have been a stud, Jared Goff was an absolute dud last night. He did come back in the fourth quarter, had a pretty good performance in the fourth quarter, and I'll be fair, you heard MC DC talk about it, you heard the, Sunday Night Football crew talk about it. Out of those 5 picks, take off the Hail Mary at halftime. All right, so now it's 4 picks. The first 2 picks of the game, I don't really think are bad reads by Goff. They're just great plays by the defense, tipping the pass, and somebody then picked off the tip pass. The other ones, though, I would say were on Goff. The pass into the end zone right after the Carlton Davis interception where he tries to hit Laporta. Maybe he was being rushed. Maybe he just was, been a little rattled at that point. It was not a great throw. And then the one downfield to Jameson Williams, man, that was basically a punt. It wasn't a great pass. And Goff, perhaps his worst game in this time with the Detroit Lions. 5 interceptions, no matter what you got to say. I guess if you're the optimist, you say Goff wants to set another record, which he did last night, being the first quarterback in Detroit Lions history to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to throw 5 picks, and I'm going to still beat your butt in your own house. So, yes, Goff set an NFL record and a franchise record, winning on the road. That's the NFL record after throwing 5 picks and winning, and a franchise record for Detroit throwing 5 picks while still getting the victory. So, maybe that's all it was with Goff. He's like, I'm getting bored here. I want to set some more records. And he set a couple last night. Stud, Jake Bates. No question about this kid. He came into training camp. Everybody wondering what he would be. Could we really have faith in him? Would he come through in the clutch? He's done it time and time, not just last night, throughout the season. The guy is perfect on the year as a rookie kicker in the NFL. And Houston's probably got to at least have some sort of degree of sadness amongst them for letting him go last training camp. Jake Bates, they might not have been the prettiest kicks, but they all count the same way. And yes, that's a win for the Detroit Lions. Dud, Terrion Arnold. I struggle with this one a little bit because I do think he had a pretty decent game. Not a great game, but a decent game. But at the same time, he's a rookie corner. I've talked about it before. I'm going to probably talk about it again this year. Going through a lot of learning curves, going through a lot of adjustments. He did have some things I thought in the run game defense, rewatching the film, and in the passing that needs to be cleaned up. It's got to get addressed. Otherwise, in the wrong time, that's going to hurt us. But yes, Arnold overall, I'm going to say if there was one dud on the defense, it was probably him. And again, I'm going to take that one with a kind of an asterisk because he did make some good plays as well. Stud, Brian Branch. Not much of a debate here. The guy's all over the field. He's probably going to be an all-pro player this year, and he may not be quite elite yet, but I think if he's not elite, he's right below elite. I think by the end of the season, he will be an elite player. Stud, also, Sam Laporta. Hey, while he played last night, I thought he was good across the board. It was even one of his better run-blocking performances out there. It wasn't great, but as far as I've been I guess you could say I've been vocal stating I don't think he's great at run blocking by any stretch of the imagination. Last night wasn't so much the case. He beat him in the run game. As far as blocking, he was also a weapon in the passing game. We might be seeing Sam Laporta, who let's not forget, he's only halfway through his second year in the NFL. He's still got a lot of upside ahead of him. He's making some big strides. Also, last of this will be stud Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's no doubt about it. This guy is perhaps one of the top 3 to 4 receivers in the NFL. He may not have the flashy speed or moves that some of the other guys do, but he is as reliable as any receiver in this league. And I don't care if it's a tight end, wide out, whatever. This guy gets open. He comes up with plays. He is a monster in the run blocking game. He gives the Lions everything you could ask for in every aspect of the game. He's just a complete stud. And the fact that the Lions have him and probably going to spend the rest of his career here, that's good for the Detroit Lions. All right, with all that said away, now let's go over and get into the main topic of the day, and that's going to be the grades. All right, let's start at the top and work our way down. And hey, probably not a whole lot of surprises here, but we're going to start at the quarterback position. I'm going to give Goff a D. I'm not going to give him an F because, again, some of the picks I don't think are necessarily on him. I think they're just, situational. Obviously, the one before halftime, I don't think anybody's going to complain about it. It's just, Lions were kind of desperately trying to get some points, trying to get a pass interference, or maybe just I guess you could say a Washington Hail Mary tip pass against the Chicago Bears, right? They were trying to get something along those lines. Take that off the way. The first two, I'm not blaming them. After that, though, the other two, I do think we're on Goff. So not his greatest performance, probably one he's going to want to move on from. But, yeah, give him a D. Running backs. I struggled with this one a little bit, but I'll say this. I think neither one of them had a phenomenal game, although Gibbs' game wasn't too bad by any stretch of the imagination. Montgomery had some struggles out there, but give a lot of credit to the Houston defense because they were hitting those holes with a lot of speed, a lot of veracity. They were making it tough for the Lions to consistently run the ball. I'm going to give both guys a solid B. You're just going to say the running backs got a B on the day, not an A, not a B plus, but a solid B because they did some good things and they got a little bit more involved in the passing game. Wide receivers, I thought, they did, and I'm going to include Sam Laporta in this as well. I thought they did everything you'd ask them to do. There was no glaring issues, in my opinion, on anything the wideouts were doing. I'm going to give them an A minus. Could be a little bit better in the run blocking. Not that I would say that Amon-Ra St. Brown had any issues with it, but you could see some other spots when you watch the film. Some of the run blocking could have been a little firmer, and maybe that would have helped out with some stuff in the running game. All right, from there, we're going to go on to the offensive line. Offensive line, not their best day, and that includes Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell got pushed around at times by the Houston defense, and Dan Skipper, I think we all get it. Taylor Decker, he might have a lot more value than most of us anticipated. Decker's loss or missing yesterday impacted the game without a question. Dan Skipper did, I thought, as good as you could expect, and at least better than I would have expected from him. But between his performance, Glasgow's performance, and you could even say, Zeitler's performance a little bit, I thought it was about a B-minus performance from them. Now, they did flip things around a little bit in the second half. They got better, maybe figured some things out or got more acclimated to Houston and their ability to get after the quarterback in the run game, but not the greatest performance by this Detroit Lions offensive line, which I think most of us agree is one of the better ones in the league, but it wasn't last night. Defensive line, and I'm going to start with interior defensive line first. I'm going to say, that's about an A-minus performance from them. You couldn't ask for much more out of Reeder and Lee McNeil and multiple other guys who played in there inside. They did a pretty good job. I thought you'd be picking apart things to try to find issues with it. The defensive ends, though, that is part of the problem with the team currently. They were all stout in the run game, not so much in the pass game and getting after the quarterback. I'm going to give them a B-minus. They did have some moments, but not nearly enough, and that's why Houston did, in my opinion, partially the reason they got out to the big lead at the half. Linebackers, I'm going to probably give them the best grade I've given them all season long. I'm going to give them an A+. I just can't find anything real quickly. I didn't spend the full 3 hours watching the game film this morning when I got up and ready for the show, but their assignments are strong. Campbell made some good plays in the pass defense, something I've been kind of critical of him over time with the team. But last night, he played pretty well. He batted out some passes. He got outside the hash marks, which you've heard me talk about a lot, and I think you're continuing to see him evolve and develop. Neiman, I mentioned this earlier, came in, played well in moments. Same with Trevor Nowaski. And, of course, we all know Alex Anzalone, another great performance for him, but great performance by the linebacking core. Secondary, and I was just going to make this one a quick one. I thought, I get we picked on Arnold a little bit, but really 1 or 2 plays from Arnold, that's about it. And again, you got a rookie cornerback out there all the time, 100% of the snaps. I thought overall, for where I would guess most rookies would be, he's playing pretty dang well. The secondary as a whole, though, I'm going to give them an A+. I just, everybody's going to give up some yards in the NFL. It's unavoidable with the rules, plus the skill sets of the other team. Houston's got some good skilled players. They do some good things. I'm just going to say this, Detroit Lions secondary, I don't think you could have asked for much more out of them than what we got yesterday. Special teams, Jake Bates, I didn't think probably anybody had question marks about his future with the team. The fact that he is Legatron, the fact that, hey, let this sink in too. Dan Campbell, when they had the opportunity to kick it to tie the score, that was not an easy kick. And it goes against MCDC's normality there. The MCDC normally does not like having kickers go for near 60-yard field goals, just because if you don't give it, if they don't hit that shot, Houston probably wins the game there because, their field position, they probably get another field goal, and I just don't know if the Lions had it in them to go down and score. We'll never know at this point because Bates does hit the big kick, and then obviously the one to win the game. I'm giving him an A+. But Jack Fox, not his best game ever by any stretch of the imagination, but a pretty good game. I don't think I still think you got to kind of grade him on a curve because he's normally so awesome, but not his best performance out there. And some of that is on multiple different factors, but I'm going to give him an A-. All right, Duke Crew, let me know your comments, your grades, whatever it is for each of these aspects. Go ahead and throw it in the comment section, and then we'll dive into it while we go into the morning show comments. All right, let me scroll up to the top of the screen and get this one going and rolling. I can't stay a full hour today. I've got an appointment this morning, so I'll be here about, we'll say another 20 minutes. Of course, I say that, maybe it'll get dragged into an hour, but we'll see how it goes. How about that? All right, let me fix one thing real quick. Let me get that off the screen. All right, all right, there we go. All right, now back to the top, and here we go. JDC, good morning, all. Back at you. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Victory Monday, woo, 100%. And right when you thought you were gonna have a defeat yesterday, Lions found a way to pull victory out of the mouth of I don't know how to word that, but hey, they found a way to win. How about that? Rich. That was a hard-fought game. Exclamation point. Jake Bates is the man. Lions roar in 24. Woo! 100%. And yes, man, any questions you got about that kid, we should all put it to rest at this point. Dude, just money. He comes through. All right, Just Green Salutations, y'all. That was one heck of a comeback last night. Stole that game, if you ask me. There's probably a lot of truth to that. And there's going to be a long week in Houston for everybody, for CJ Stroud, for the head coach, for the offense, the defense. You let that one go, and you should not have let that one go. But, hey, you could also say the Lions found a way to steal that from you. Well, the legend of Legatron marching on, exclamation point. Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Johnny L. And good morning, by the way, Bo. Johnny L., I'm still floating on a cloud. You should be, man. Great performance for the Lions. Jesse, good morning. Jessica, what do you got? Good morning, Duke Crew, exclamation point. I'm just so proud of what this team did last night. We all should be, man. Wins like that don't happen very often at any level. Robert, I just rewatched the entire game. What a defensive effort. Oh, my. Yeah, I mean, the defense played great, obviously, the second half. The first half, they were dang close to really doing some damage to Houston. Houston, they'll give them some credit, man. They did hit some shots. They hit some passes. They found ways to win in the first half. Johnny L., I missed a lot of the second half because I was upset. Okay, yeah. We talked about it during the show, and I get during the live cast, there were a lot of people saying, man, I'm done with this game. I'm turning off, whatever. But also remember, there's a lot of times teams come back. It is 4 quarters. And yes, you watched yesterday's early games, not just the Lions. You saw that come across the board. Not everybody plays their best all the time. Does Minnesota normally go down to the wire with Jacksonville? Probably not, but they did yesterday. And do the Kansas City Chiefs normally survive a 30-yard field goal attempt with no time to win? Probably not, but circumstances. And Johnny, hopefully rewatch it all and enjoy the game now that you know the outcome. Man Bear, good morning. Dana Rue and Scooby-Doo crew, 8-1. Woo! And 100%, my friend. Good to see you this morning, Man Bear. Robert, great salutations. Same to you. John King, good morning. Coach and crew, grade C+. Just win, baby. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. You can have everything go wrong. You can have everything go right. As long as you find a way to win, you move on from it and develop from it. Robert, yeah, I wonder why they slept in 100%. Let's see. Man Bear, Oh, I. All right. I'll go with that. Let's see. Jameer, coach, your boy Houston got him a sack. Yeah, he nearly had, I want to say we watched the replay. He nearly gets 2. Maybe you could say 3, but he did look as close to 2022 James Houston that I think we've seen since that leg injury. There was one play he forces Stroud to get out of the pocket so fast because he dips around the left tackle of Houston, and that guy doesn't even get his hands on him. He has that bend we saw out of him where he gets so parallel to the ground in 22, his rookie year. Maybe James Houston is starting to get right and get back to who he once was. And I'm proud of him. Man. Let's see. Big Eddie Green, salutations. I'm dragging today, and I'm guessing most of us are agreed with that. But I'll take that. May need get me a Mountain Dew. Well, go enjoy it. And I will be having one today. Phil, you awake, Dan? I am indeed. Jameer, tough win, 100%. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. Remember, gas a late game. The guys were probably tired, 100%. Yeah, they're probably all sleeping in today. Pretty good. Robert, could we have a Dan O'Donnell sighting? Not today. Maybe on Friday. Jameer, I need a Brad Holmes. Yeah, well, I got to work on that. I do need to work on that. Let's see, Trey, what's good, everyone? Question mark. Good teams find a way, and we did find enough answers to win. Go Bates. Bates, yeah, he's, man, just proud of that kid and happy for him too, man. He's overcome a lot of challenges to make it to the NFL, and you know what? He's made it, and I don't see the Lions getting rid of him anytime soon. Hendricks fan, did you see how high the kicks went through the goalpost? They would have been good for 70 yards. Yeah, I think there was something online about the 58-yarder he hit would have been good from potentially 73 yards or something like that. But, yeah, he had plenty of leg on both of those kicks. Phil, Dan O'Damas, we'll go with that. Dan Sleepus, yes, maybe. Bo CD3 came through. He did it a big way. Hopefully he's okay. I know he got a little banged up towards the end. Matt B, sup, dude crew, exclamation point. Hope you don't have any heart issues last night because that was crazy. I feel for those that turned off the game. There was no clue given that was even a possibility. Nope, but hey, part of it, you got to just root, you got to rally, you got to believe. Robert, only coffee could get us all going today. Mate, you probably a lot of correctness with that. Johnny, wow, I have a Hallelujah Blue hangover. Enjoy it, my friend. Robert, can anyone say 5 interceptions? We can, and you know what? They found a way to win still. Darcy, Bates kicks were booming. They were. They had plenty of room. Broski, if there's ever been a team of destiny, the Lions are it. If there's ever been a team of dysfunction, the Bears are it. I would say there's probably a lot of truth to that, Broski. My worry, and I talked about this yesterday, is your team's defense. Some of those parts, by the time I think Caleb Williams and the offense get developed, that defense, some of those players will probably start being on the decline. But wait and see. NFL is very much a week-to-week basis. Robert, sounds like the fake Broski already. Might be. Let's see. Mike the Marine Gunny. Howdy, Dan and Drew crew. 8-1. Oh, yeah. Great job, defense. 0 points given up the second half. And Bates, woo! I'll go with that. Big D, what a freaking game, guys. After we found every way to lose and still won, are we going to be a hard out rest of the way for everyone? Our defense was stellar. The one thing I would say if I'm the Lions is I got to imagine your next several opponents are going to do everything they can to copy and try to do what Houston did to you on a defensive side of the ball. Lions are going to have to come up with some answers, but that's part of coaching. That's part of any level of sport. Somebody's going to try to find something everybody else missed, and once that person has some success with it, I don't care if it's volleyball, thumb wrestling, whatever, everybody's going to try to mirror that. Mo, always faithful to the grit. Oh, there you go. Broski, Robert Yankee. No, it's just, not just Yankee Doodle drip. Okay. Phil, 3 of the interceptions were not too legit. 2 tip passes and a Hail Mary. Yeah, I would say in regards to those 3, I'm not putting those ones on golf. The other ones probably though. France, maybe James Houston is returning as the old self-coach. I think he is because he saw what he got out of him the week before, and he did get 4 pressures. He nearly got a couple sacks the week before against Green Bay. Yesterday, obviously, he got a sack, and had a couple other near sacks. Robert, nope, could be the real Broski. Could be. Phil, AG is the best DC in the NFL. Hard to believe a couple fans want him fired just a year or 2 ago, but yeah, he played great, or he coached great last night. Let's see, Big D, Jake the Hitman flipping Bates. I agree with that, 100%. Robert, 5'8", 312 pounds. Now that's Broski with the Moski. might be. Susan, I'm so hot for Bates right now. Okay, fair enough. Oh, hey, I don't know if he's single or anything. Broski, Phil, well, they all count. Shout out to the Lions defense for keeping them in the game, even when Goff did his best to lose the game. Hey, it is what it is, man. That's why it's a team sport, right? Not an individual sport, correct? Let's see. Big D, 3 picks were 2 were what the heck. Yeah, I'll go with that. Let's see. Broski, Robert, sounds like you're describing Captain Stubbs. All right. Phil, agreed. Big D. 70. Broski Bear, you ready to get in the ring yet with a girl? We'll see what he has to say. Robert, he's afraid, Stephanie. I would agree with that 1,000%. And you should be. I mean, she's no joke, man. Both Captain Jack and Anzalone, wherever they were, they played very well. And I thought, as far as the third linebacker spot, I know I already talked about it. Neiman, Nowowski, amongst others, they did a real good job kind of filling in there. Even O'Connell on the defensive line, I know I didn't mention him earlier, but for a guy, I don't know how many snaps he got. I want to say 12 or 15. He was highly productive with those 15 or 12 snaps. Phil, good morning, Steph. Coach Rock, good morning. All, what a great comeback win. Good teams win when there's not supposed to, and that's one of the games. Yeah, 100%. They came out. They found a way to steal that victory from Houston, and kudos to them. All right, 70, good morning. Big D, Captain Jack was balling. He was, man. I think he's, by the end of the year, if he keeps progressing the way he is, he might just be near elite, sort of where I've got Brian Branch ranked right now, although I do think probably in the next month, if Brian Branch continues what he's doing this year, most people are going to consider him an elite safety. Let's see, Phil, Captain Jack blew a lot of pass coverages. He was pretty good, I thought, in pass coverage. Doesn't mean he was perfect, but, at the same time, the NFL, the rules are so set up for success on offense, it's hard for anybody to cover somebody for extended periods of time. Moonscar, morning. Good morning, Duke Crew, starting lineup, back at you. Hopefully that's a great one. Let's see, Broski, Stephanie, stop talking tough women, try and act feminine. Hopefully with a change in our country's leadership, this stuff will stop. Women can't compete with men. Broski, I will very respectfully say this. In a lot of different things in life, women can compete with men, and in the ring, I would say that's one woman that could compete with maybe not all men, but I would say a lot of them. And I don't know you at all, but if I just had to put a blind bet down right now, I'd probably put a significant amount of money on her to probably have that match over MMA fight, whatever you want to say, in probably a matter of minutes, if not faster. So she is not one most people would mess with, male or female. So Broski, your team was going to win the North, you said. I do seem to remember him saying something about that, correct? Big D, McNeil was balling. He was, man. Great game from him. And again, him and DJ Reader, completely different type of defensive tackles. Reader's probably not going to ever generate the most pass rush of a defensive tackle, but Ali McNeil, you can see why the Lions do not want to get rid of him. He is a pretty nice and still developing player. JDC, oh my, here we go. Thank you for that. Big D, they all gave up pass coverage rules. Yeah, it's part of the NFL. Nobody's going to shut somebody down completely. Robert, bring on the Jaguars. That's up next. Broski, Stephanie, you're a joke that women are hired in law as law enforcement. How many exceptions are made for you on a daily basis? Stick to the kitchen on. Yeah, Broski, that's where I'm going to say, man, you sound like a village idiot right there when you say that about a human. Because I'm going to say this, Broski, I think she would destroy you in a heartbeat, and that's why you will never get in the ring with him, because you know she would destroy you in a heartbeat. It's easy to be an internet tough guy and just say, I would do this or that. Put your money where your mouth is, man. Otherwise, shut the heck up. All right, Phil, Steph is a cop, Broski. She knows how to handle herself. Yeah, especially, here's the other thing I would say. If you're someone in place and this, especially working the different shifts, she appears to be working the overnight shifts, that means you're probably dealing with not always the easiest clientele to work with, if you get what I mean. People that, late night, hanging out, partying, probably having a few drinks and doing things they would probably later on regret. Let's see, Broski, so Smallong, I never said that. I said the Bears would be 8 to 10 wins. Well, if they get 10 wins, Broski, at this point, I think, man, that something has severely changed with them. So again, sort of like you said, David Montgomery runs like he's got a piano on his back, or Tim Patrick isn't this or whatever. Your 10-win prediction might fall right in line with those ones. So that kind of tells us about your ability to predict the future. Stephanie Broski Bear, well, then why are you running from the challenge? Internet tough guy that would get knocked out. I would probably say yes. I think he would tap out fairly quickly. That's my guess, of course, though. Pat, good morning. JDC, woo, 100%. Let's see, Phil, remember, this is a Lions show, not Broski. There you go. Let's see, Fruit, I'm so proud of the Lions fans. This is a gritty team. It is, man. Big time win for the Lions. To come back like that, have all the adversity in the world, and still come back and win, you got to be proud of this team. Bo, TA came up big, got hurt doing so. He did it. He did indeed. Let's see, Michael, let's get to Rumble. Yes, let's get ready to Rumble indeed. Big D, TA got to learn to turn that and look for that ball in coverage, damn buddy. Yeah, the big pass that he gave up down the sidelines. I know we were talking about it during the live show. If he does turn around and locate the ball, he probably doesn't get called for pass interference. And I don't know if he would have got the interception, but he probably would have at least batted the ball down. Phil, a lot of guys on both sides got hurt. Goff got popped in the head at least twice, and nothing was called. Yeah, I'm guessing that crew is probably going to get not the greatest review from the head of officials. And it wasn't just against the Lions. They allowed the Lions to get away with some stuff. They allowed Houston to get away with some stuff. Let's see. Yep. All right. Yeah, we're going to move on from Broski. Big D, he can't keep making contact without turning the head. Yeah, they've got to keep developing him 100% there. Phil, I'm watching, guys. Just don't make me time you out. There you go. Let's see. Bo, who didn't believe when Fairbairn missed that we're going to win? Man, I think you had to believe at that point, 100%. Warning for Broski. Okay. Big D, I don't see Broski chat. Where the heck you guys see it? I'm guessing that means Big D, you probably blocked him at some point. All right, yes, moving on from Broski. Big D, I got blocked from him. There you go. Wayne, oh my God, going. Great, 100%. Voltron Force, woo, good morning. I'll go with that. Dave Bing, what a game. It was, man. It's in the next couple weeks, I think you got a pretty favorable setup, and that does include the Bears. The Bears have basically no offense whatsoever. I'm hoping that Thanksgiving could be a very good time for the Lions, but you got to get to the Jags and then the Colts first. Big D, Thanksgiving is going to be fruitful. I think so. And yes, I would say it's probably going to be a good time for Lions fans. Mike the Marine Gunny, I blocked Broski a long time ago. Understandable. Phil, a lot of football coming up. I concur with that. It's still a long season ahead of us. Wayne, we can play our worst game and win against a quality opponent. If you don't believe now, you never will. There's a lot to be said about that, Wayne. Nobody's going to play their best game all the time. Things are going to happen. The other team makes plays too. They've got talent. They've got coaches. They want to win just as much as you do. And give Houston a lot of credit. They made some adjustments to their defense coming into this game to try to slow us down. They were effective with it for a half. Lions figured some things out. They Scooby-Dooed the problem. They fought back. Also, Aaron Glenn and that defense, man, we thought the offense was going to carry this team most of the year, especially when Hutchinson went down. But you know what? Aaron Glenn and them guys over on the D line, they said, not so fast. We count too. And you know what? Give them a lot of praise this week. Doug, what do you got? They never quit. Stroud must have felt like he was attacked by relentless bees. He was, man. Especially that second half. They got after him way more. They unleashed a lot more blitzes. And I think Aaron Glenn just basically said, man, we've got to make some plays here. Whether we roll the dice and crap out or hit the home run, we've got to get after him. And they did. They give him and the D a lot of credit. Mooscar, please keep it civil. Dan doesn't want to read those comments. Warning to everyone. Agreed with that. And that's why I'm just kind of skipping over anything that seems to be Broski related. Doug, the defense had a really good approach to channeling Stroud until reinforcements attacked, and they sure did. They did indeed. Marcus, good morning, Dan and DC, new crew, exclamation point. Happy Veterans Day all. What a game. Seems like a great teams find ways to win, especially on the road. I'm still geeked, exclamation points. Lions are 5-0 on the road now and have 3 remaining. I'll go with that. Let's see, Hardy. We're moving on from talking about the Bear. Phil, concur. Let's see, Lionel. Woo! Those 2 kicks barely squeaked by, but good enough. Lightning and Thundercats. Oh, yeah, I mean, we all get it, man. It added to the drama. It added to how it felt, because if it was going straight down the middle, man, you would just have that extra second or whatever to breathe and just have the release. But, man, Bates, he played pretty well last night. He played to the crowd. How about that? Robert, let's ban Broski again. Yeah, if he keeps this knucklehead stuff up, we'll probably got to put him in another timeout. Arrogancy, I don't know if that it's the ugliest one I ever saw or one of the prettiest. Not letting them score in the second half is amazing. Yeah, give a lot of praise again, and I keep saying this, a lot of praise to the defense. Johnny L, injury report, we'll see. We'll probably get a more detailed injury report probably tomorrow. Frank Tank, good morning, Duke Crew. Eastside, what a game. Defense was elite last night. Woo, woo, woo. Go Lions. Good to see you this morning. Matty B, I'm all for it. And we don't need an obnoxious rival fan, instead in the morning with our biggest comeback win. Yeah, that's the thing with Broski. And, well, let's not even talk about it, man. Doug, one thing's for sure, not one player ever takes a play off the deepest level of grit on this team. I would agree with that. I'll agree with that. Bo, we keep breaking records. We do, man. And, sometimes it's sort of like watching, if you guys remember Jordan and Bird, some of you older fans, and the commercials from McDonald's, hey, I'm going to shoot it off this, do that, and, nothing but net. And it kind of feels like that's what Jared Goff was doing last night. I'm going to throw this pick. I'm going to throw that pick. I'm going to give you a ball. I'm going to give you a ball. You know what? I'm still going to win. Big D. Yep. Broski's always crying. Just say, yeah, we'll go with that. Frank, man, this team just grew up right before our eyes. This Detroit Lions team is dangerous. McNeil, elite. Go Lions. Frank, I probably do need to do a deeper dive on Elite McNeil. I think he's a very good player. I don't know if he's elite, but he's probably trending that way. You've got a few guys on Detroit, offensively and defensively, that are probably trending towards the conversation of being towards the elite level. Robert, go back to Philly. All right. Let's move on from that. Moving on from let's see, Phil. Even Sewell was getting cooked last night. Lions did not play well. No, you're right. Houston hit him as much as anybody else. It wasn't our best game, but he still found a way to win. Matty B, so good, 100%. Matthew, greetings, salutations, back at you. Hardy, 5 interceptions, sounds like Williams. Without the win, you are correct. Big D, my mash up of Sweet Carolina. There you go. Johnny L, what's Broski Bear's problem? He's Broski Bear. I'd say that's the problem. Matty B, yeah, moving on from that. Phil, no problem. Let's see. Bo winning after throwing 5 in INTs is a record. Correct. It was indeed. Miles Marker, 8-1. You gotta love it. Trey, what's good? All unbelievable team win. You have to believe that, Trey, because it's the defense carried the load until the offense figured some things out, and then the special teams chipped in also. Man, just thankful to be here with a win this morning. Big D, so good. Oh, I concur. Trey, this team reminds me of the 04 going to work Pistons. Now, that's a great reference right there. That is a great thought right there. I used to love going to some of those games. That's probably that year and maybe a couple years before and after were probably the last times I was really embraced the Detroit Pistons. They just unfortunately haven't been the greatest since then. Let's see. Southwest Line, 5 interceptions, and they won. Question mark. This is a remarkable team. I concur with your assessment. Let's see. Kurt Steele, what up, though, Duke Crew? What's up to you, Man of Steel? Detroit DJ, Victory Monday, Duke Crew. I'll go with that. Phil R. Steele, Mr. Steele. Mr. Nico, acknowledge us, NFL. One pride, 100% with that. JDC, Monsters of the Midway, the Bears. I'll go with that. Big time. Let's see. Most opposing fans hollering about 5 INTs, laughing out loud, and we still win. Shows you how resilient we are. Man, I think I probably won't be able to do a live cast for Thanksgiving, just be with the family, but I'm looking forward to that post-game show. If it goes the way I think most of us are starting to think it could, oh, Broski Bear, I tell you what, I might buy you a Mountain Dew just out of pity for you and your team, because I pity the team. Let's see, Big D, Johnny, Broski problems is he realizes that he has, okay, yep. I'll move on from that. Motown Mitch, Lions rule, Bears drill. Can you imagine a team coming back to win after throwing INTs? Goff MVP. Hey, we'll see what happens. I know Robert Griffith came out and was not very complimentary for Jared Goff after the game on Twitter, X, whatever you call that thing. But, hey, man, he found a way to win at the end of the day. That's all I worry about for my quarterback. All right, Moonscar, most interceptions by a winning quarterback in a game is 8. It's Chicago Cardinals, Jim Harney in 1950. How about that, Broski Bear? You guys found a way to, have an Ocho out there and still win. Let's see, Southwest, I think this team understands more now than ever that on any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody. Remarkable comeback win. I agree with that. Rocky M or Coach Rock, is it a good thing they didn't have an extra coat of paint on the goalpost? Woo! Yeah, I know they were talking about that on the post-game show or whatever it was for NBC, but Hey, man, they found a way to win. I don't care how pretty or ugly it is. A win is a win. Justin, man, that Branch interview after the game, that kid is one of a kind. Yes, sir. No, sir. Respect. 100%. Yes, he's wired that way. Somebody, grew him up right, or, some good parenting there. How about that? Don, hey, guys, anybody hollering about Goff's and INTs, you're wasting your time. Yeah, W is the only thing that matters. Matty B, Russell Barrett, Caleb Williams just goes 3 and out. This is true. He can't throw the ball that much if you just keep punting it back to the other team. Southwest, the Texans are a legit team. If they play like they did in the first half, they can beat anybody. Yeah, they played very well, I thought. They did some good things out there. Johnny L, get lost, broski. Probably some truth to that. Sarge, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew. Victory Monday. Oh, yeah. Good to see you this morning, my friend. Phil, Lions, folks, not Bears. Correct with that. All right, let's see. Southwest, I think AG deserves a game ball. I didn't catch because of the post-game show. I didn't catch who Dan Campbell gave the game balls to. He's going to be a head coach offer. I think he will, man. He deserves it, man, the way this defense is playing, the way he's kind of changed things in Detroit. Detroit's got an offense and a defense, not just an offense. All right, see, Mark, anytime your quarterback puts a stinker up like yesterday and you still win, it just might be your season. It might just be. And great call on that there, Mark. Big D, someone said it great earlier in the feed. We can play our worst game against a great opponent and still win. If you don't believe now, you never will. That's probably true, 100%. Let's see, Don, Bears lost to 2-7 Pats at home. Enough said. That's also very true. Let's see, one funky. Don, can we at least stop with MVP talk? Yeah, just move on from it. We'll let it happen if it happens over time. Matthew Green, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila likes to woo in the fresh morning dew. How about a shot of that dew and a hearty Sheila woo? You want a Sheila woo? I'll hit you with the woo. 1, 2, 3. And there you go. Sarge, injuries, no updates as yet. We'll probably have some, I would think, tomorrow. Number one funky, probably so. General Brown, I crashed early and woke up to Christmas. Go Lions. Hopefully you had a great morning and a great Christmas morning, too, finding that win under your tree. Damien, Lions fan since 1978. I've never seen 8-1. Incredible. Woo! No, I'm going to guess the vast majority of Lions fans have not been around long enough to see this type of results. Big D, Caleb Williams got slaughtered, also sacked like 8 times. I hope that he continues that trend on Thanksgiving Day against us. Bo, I hope Aleem is good. I hope so, too. Dan actually wrote that book. Amazing. Yeah, I've wrote a few books, broski. A few. Let's see. Benny B, Arnold and Glasgow are the big worries for injuries. There you go. Paperback fan, I think we kind of needed a hard win to keep us on our toes. Yeah, 100%. Sometimes you just got to, get woken up a little bit. But the other part is anybody who's been in athletics, whether you're coaching or playing or whatever, it's just hard to keep that level up all the time. Now, if it's a playoff game, a big game, that's a little different just because the way humans were all wired and stuff, you get fired up, you get the adrenaline going whenever you say, not that last night wasn't a big game, but man, you could see how much the team fired up and they could start sniffing the possibility of a comeback in that second half. Marcus, like and subscribe. Thanks for that. I'm still geeked. Exclamation points. Go Lions. Can I get a random? Woo! You want one? I'll give you one. 1, 2, 3. I got to get the buttons. And there you go. JP, what do you got? 9 sacks for Caleb? Let's see. All right. Yeah. Oh, yesterday. Okay. Lions Soccer Live fan. I feel like throwing up. Hopefully in a good way, my friend, after that win. Kurt Steele, happy Veterans Day to my fellow vets. 100%. Take time out of your day to make sure you do something nice or say something nice to a vet if you know one. Let's see. Ryan, Broski show again. Let's hope not. Broski Bear, is that the real you? All right. Michael, all the negative comments in the live chat last night. There were a lot of people jumping off the ship. I guess you could say it felt like by the end of the first quarter. And I know a lot of us were trying to say, man, there's a lot of game left. And the Lions, let's not forget, they were down 10-0 yesterday, just like they were against the Minnesota Vikings. Guess what happened in both games? Lions won. Johnny L, the same to you, Kurt Steele. Jason, what a gritty game. It was 100%. Bo, great morning to you, Kurt. Donbert, Kurt, yes, it's the real broski. All right. Southwest, moving on from broski stuff. Let's see. Happy Veterans Day, General Brown. Yes, indeed. And 100%. All right. Let's see. Phil, Lions, folks, please. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Facts in 60 seconds. Hope Big Z will help the defensive end rush. I think he will. Doug, I'm not real big on MVP talk. for any players. It's not as important as the rotational excellence of so many on our team. J-Mo got open and held on. Carlton made 2 great interceptions. Bates nails. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, worry about the team, not individual stuff. Z was coaching from the sidelines. He was, man. He was trying to help out, and good for him, man. You could see he was trying to pump up the D, pump up the Lions, crowd or fans in the crowd, etc. Yeah, I think he's going to be a big plus for us. Southwest line, yeah, I feel bad for Williams. He was under siege. He was. Doug, and so on and so forth. Okay. Matty B, I want to know which one of you said we were going to have a miracle comeback like we had against the Bears last year. There was somebody in the chat yesterday. It was, I want to say his name was AKA Hollywood or something like that. Don't hold me to it. That sounds about right. But he called it, like, I want to say at the end of the first quarter, he's like, Lions are going to come back and win this thing in late. I think he even said last second field goal. Maybe I'm not correct with that part, but yes, he was jumping up and down, cheering that he thought the Lions would come back and win. Oh, or she. I guess I don't know if it was a he or she. Trumps, Jake the Monster Bates. There you go. Bo, me. All right. Yeah, you did too. Bo, you were on it too. You were 100%. Maybe it was you, Bo. Good job calling that one. Yeah, Bo. And like I said, I think there was one, maybe 2 other people that were on top of that. Trump's D4A. Okay. Bo, always faithful, Maddie. Johnny V, Trump, a genius, laughing out loud. Big D, happy Vets Day to all the Duke Crew vets, 100%. I think we've got a few in here, I would think. Courtney, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. What a game. Woo! I'll go with that, and good morning to you, too. Big D, Gunny, one of the, yeah, Gunny's one for sure. And I think we've got a few guys that are veterans. I know Kurt Steele's one, etc. Bo, sorry for the spelling, Matty B. It happens. All right, guys, we've got about 10 minutes to go. I really got about 5 minutes to go. So I'm going to go through the comments section here, try to get some people on who haven't been on it as much. Southwest, Dan, the adjustments I noticed Lions made late in the game was getting the ball to Gibbs on screen passes. Correct. That's essentially like a run game because it's low risk. Get that kid the ball in space, 100%. And they caught Houston in some blitzes, which also aided to that. Matt B laughing. Let's see, Matthew. Interviewed after game said that he wanted to play, but MCDC wanted him to have an equivalent of a bye. He will play next week. That's good stuff. Bo, I'll go with that. There you go. Let's see, Michael. All hail Legatron. I like the way you're thinking. Sanders, our pass rush is almost non-existent. I'm still trying to figure out how we won that game. You're not wrong there, man. And I think it's going to get better. It is getting better at times. They just got to get more consistent. Johnny, I'm going back to bed. See y'all in the morning. We'll see you then, my friend. Get some good rest. Southwest, this team has grit, never say die spirit, and the head coach deserves credit for that. Yeah, the entire team deserves some credit. Mo, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I gave up on them in the third quarter and went to bed. Never again, exclamation point. This team doesn't quit. MCDC doesn't understand the meaning of quote or bust. Let's flipping go. Get the Super Bowl W. Woo! Well, the good thing is, Mo, you'll be able to watch the replay of the game and see what you missed. But hopefully you got some good sleep, man. And one heck of a present when you woke up in the morning. Philippines, that was a perfect game for bringing the Lions back down to earth while winning. They know it was ugly, and they'll learn from it. I will go with that. I think you're spot on. Kim, no matter how bad, never give up. I agree with that. Ryan, Goff throws better with gloves. There might be some truth to that. Lions Talk Live, if TA doesn't stop Mix from TD, we lose. That's also probably true. Very good point. All right, Philippines, the addition of Smith is a great mid-season spark, like getting a new toy under the tree at Christmas. That's a good analogy. Let's see, Moonscar. My fault. I Googled most interceptions by a winning quarterback and didn't read through the answer. Jim Hardy did not win. Okay, fair enough. It happens. Doug, I watched the 2 rookie cornerbacks for Philly. I'm disappointed in the development and opportunities of our 2 rookie cornerbacks. I guess next year should be better. Might be 100%. Let's see. Phil, J-Mo is much tougher than we thought. He really played. He played well, I thought. I'll go with that. Cruz, anyone see that Vaki hit on special teams? Yeah, I'm surprised that Houston guy held on to the ball because that was a legit hit. Burger Time, great win last night. 8-1. I concur. Phil says a C. Matty B, that was the worst pick. That corner had clear inside leverage and got it thrown straight to him. Correct with that. Let's see, Burger Time, morning, Dan, Matt, and Hookadoo, all the above. Moonscar, yes, Vaki tackled 2 guys at the same time. That was pretty awesome. He came ready to play. Rocky Panay took over in the second half. Yeah, he got things cleaned up a little bit. Philippines, I could not find the locker room speech by Coach Cable. Is it out there? I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. It has to be. Or if not, it will be. How about that? Phil, Texans are a very fast, impressive team. Yeah, they've got a pretty speedy defense and offense, to be fair. Bo, on Detroit Lions YouTube channel. There you go. Thanks for that. Let's see, Doug, impressed by our D line interior, especially later in the game. Linebackers were excellent. I agree. I think we played very well. O'Connor, who's that guy? He played pretty well yesterday, I thought. Silver Server 8 coach. I say they became a team yesterday. James Houston coming back too. I hope you are right with that. I do hope he adds to the team. All right, Chris Steele, Bobo, not out yet. Okay. Michael, Lions 19 second half points. Texans, laughing out loud. This is true. We went on a 19-0 run. Silver Server, and good morning. Back at you. Ryan, running back success is contingent on the offensive line execution. O-line struggled. They did. They struggled a wee bit yesterday. Locker room video is on Lions website. There you go. Bo, I watched it this morning. Kurt. Marcus, Lions don't win this game a year ago with Michael Badgley. Jake Bates' move was huge. It was, and he's still developing. That's the other part of it. Let's see. Samuel, the last Terry Arnold play at the end looked like BB out there. Defense won the game for sure. Yeah, they came up big. They came up all aces in the end. Zach Terrion is going to cost us big at the worst four. It could be at some point, but he's a rookie out there learning. He's developing. He's getting some massive reps. One Pride, good morning, all! Exclamation point. That's a comeback win. Houston, so excited. He he did that. February 9, 2025 featured the Hallelujah Blue. I'm down with that. And yes, might be. Let's see. Brian, good morning, Dan and crew. That was the craziest game I've ever seen. What a team we do have. We do indeed have a pretty dang good team. Courtney, Stance victory from the jaws of defeat. Woo! Thank you for that one. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. Southwest, he has to be smarter, but I think we have to be patient with him. He is a rookie, and cornerback is a really tough position mastering in the NFL. Yeah, 100%. And by the time we get to the playoffs, he's going to, I think, develop pretty fairly. Zach Terrion is going to cost us big at the worst time. We got bailed on that third down, 100% PI. I'll go with that. Hey, good thing Anzalone was there to try to block the view of the officials a little bit. Let's see, Silver Server. So if Decker will miss another game or more, not sure it will be Skipper and not Jamarco Jones. It could be. We'll wait and see. Let's see, Chris Steele, Lions team is special. It is special. To see, James, good morning. I'm subbing. Go Lions. Thanks for that, by the way. Have a great morning, and thanks for being a part of the Duke crew. My prediction was 28-24. You were pretty spot on with it. Let's see, 1991. Max Tag, Zach is a rookie. Terry Arnold's rookie. There's going to be growing pains for sure with that. It's Philippines, Silver Server. I know too early to think of the draft, but I draft Decker's Ragnow's replacement and a linebacker. Could be 100%. JP, it was awesome to get healthy Houston back. Yes, he's like I said, that's 2 straight weeks. I think you're starting to see him flare up and kind of be who he once was before. Gary Green, Sanitation's coaching crew. I guess we have to start believing this team is a team of destiny. Might just be. Brian, only the Detroit Lions win that game. Go Lions. I think you are correct with that. Doug, Houston's advantage was their speed. I'd say there's a lot of truth to that. Trevor has an INT. He does have an INT and a couple of sacks. Correct. Nearly had a second INT yesterday. Silver Server sounds good. Philippines. There you go. Doug. Okay. I think Williams does a good job at making our defensive line containing running quarterbacks. Yeah, it really hasn't been a problem so much this year, has it? Getting to it after the 5th pick in the closest I've come to turning off a Lions game. So glad I did it. Yeah, I'm guessing there's a few people that did stop watching the game. They're regretful today. T-Lokes, this was exactly the type of game we need to expose our weaknesses on the O-line. There you go, and grow from it. Jason, Detroit also overcame the largest halftime deficit, 16 points, by a winning team that threw 5 picks or more interceptions. Thank you for that detailed analysis and research there. Thank you for that, Jason. All right, see, Miles Marker, Broski, you're trying to tell women how to live? This is, it ain't 200 years ago. Man is a creep. Probably some truth to that. Bro, flying Eagles. All right, I'll go with that. JDC, get ready for the influx of deer hunter traffic stuff. Be safe. Yeah, there'll be a whole lot of that. Tyler, Houston, if that's true, I guess I'll have to check that out. I was not aware of that, but I was trying to call the game. So, hey, it happens. I guess that's what you can say. Philippines, I was a Marine and worked in law enforcement and worked with a lot of tough women. I'll go with, I concur. Let's see, Thomas, what happened to our pass blocking? O-line was first half was horrific. Yeah, it's got to get cleaned up. Let's see, Jay-Z, keep getting texts all game from Dan and friends. My reply every time, one play at a time. Never bet against Dan Campbell-led team, and glad they proved me right in the end with a W. I'll go with that. Damn and friends. There we go. Family and friends. All right, fair enough. Let's see. TCKG. Good morning. That was a bad looking game. Hey, it was, but we found a way to win. Jeff, I wonder what McNeil's injury was. Muscle, pulled and jaw. Probably something like that. The fact that he was moving his jaw and everything, I don't think he broke it, but we'll find out probably tomorrow. Thomas, once we figured out screen passes put the D in check, we moved the ball. That is also true. Thomas, Goff's INTs at worst are 2 on him. I'll go with, I agree with that. Let's see. Jay-Z, what do you got? Opening line versus Jag Detroit. Wow, 12.5. I'll have to check that out. I did not realize that, but I think the Lions defense is going to have a pretty good game that game. Let's see. Lions top of the NFC. You are correct with that. 1991, Tyler, I thought I was the only one to see that. I guess I'll have to check it out. I was not aware of that, but again, kind of distracted, I guess. All right, William, good morning. Dan from Florida. What a crazy game last night. One pride. Lions fans in Florida. Have a great time, my friend. Let's see. Joseph C. Good morning, y'all. And Coach Dan, just figured I'd drop in a couple lines in this morning and get a Sheila. Woo! Boy, I'm telling you, what St. Brown comes through at the toughest times. He does, man. He is money in the clutch, ain't he? And you want to woo? I'll give you a. And now you got one. Randy, we win. All right, I'll go with that. Let's see. Looking for some other people. And since we're into overtime, try to power through here pretty quick here. Have no voice. What a victory. Can't wait for Sunday. Place will be insane. It will be. And hopefully you have a good time at the game. All balls on D. Good morning, Duke Crow. I'm out hunting Wabbit. Well, happy hunting, my friend. Miles, good morning, Anthony. Ryan, Texas plan wasn't sustainable. It wasn't. And thankfully it wasn't. Let's see. A couple other people. Thomas, Branch as soon as possible. Cash Branch as soon as possible. I pity the fools. Laughing out loud, Coach Dan cracking me up this morning. I'm doing what I can, my friend. Let's see, Burger Time, Broski, you're a clown. Probably a lot of truth to that. Let's see more. Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. What a game. What a show. Thanks, Coach. My son was so loud he woke the neighbors up. Go Lions. Hey, I'm glad everybody had a good time with that. 100%. Stephanie will drop Broski, no doubt. Yeah, I would have zero doubt about that. Let's see, Stepify, Kurt Steele. There you go. Hoorah! There we go. All right, Sanders. That game was like watching the championship game against the 49ers in reverse. That's a good analogy there. Silver Sir, anticipate. Yep, I'll go with that. Polka music. Doug, I mentioned the Chicago comeback. Okay, you did indeed. Miles Myers Sanders, laughing out loud. All right, looking for some other people that haven't been on here. Kurt Steele, man, I'm running on fumes this morning. See you guys at 8 over on our channel. No worries. LL had his shirt on today. Okay, let's see. Patrick, what a birthday present for the Marines. 249 years old and a Lions win. That's a great present right there for a lot of you guys. I'd say Randy Bates' nickname should be Bigfoot, probably. Let's see. Jay-Z, what do you got? The sun god always rises to the occasion. Correct with that. Dr. Detroit, this is the Goff that was traded from Rams. It might be, but you know what? We found a way to help support him in his downtime. Michael, what do you got? The Goff almost cost us that game, man. He did, but you know what? It's a team sport. Rally about him. Pull him out of the downtime. Everyone has a bad game, but that was embarrassing. It was not his best look by any stretch of the imagination. Matthew, morning bird time. Thomas, Terrence going to be fine. Just relax, people. Yeah, give him time. Danny, Dono, what do you got? Goff was terrible doing things that on that Lions game was our defense. They played extraordinary. They did. The defense was outstanding. But then be the worst game I've seen Lions play. No more days off making excuses why they lost. I'll go with that. Burns, I stopped watching at halftime to go to bed. Hey, you can watch the replay. Watch the replay. You'll be able to find it. Let's see. Chuck Cheese, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Thank you for all the veterans. Have a great day. Same to you and all the veterans. JDC, Detroit Lions rebuilding since 57. Stay tuned to Coach Dan Lions Talk Live for more updates. Thank you for that as always, JDC. Thomas, 2 of the toughest catches all night. JMO, yeah, he's going to be feeling it a little bit today. JDC, to you vets, sit high in the saddle. Thank you. Yeah, go get some, go enjoy the day. How about that? All right, guys, if there is some breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Trying to get to 11,000. We're 100 and whatever it is away from it. So help out that. That'd be great. Also, if you would be so kind, reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. Other than that, take care. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. See you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy